Hi everyone, and welcome to my final video. We've gone through 14 previous videos to get to where we are today. And it is the step 6, and it is the final element of the Hyper HR presence, impact and influence blueprint, which is all around the E in influence, which is energy. So we want to bring some energy to this final session, not really too much too in-depth, but really just kind of giving you some insights into what you can do and what you need to be thinking about when it comes to this influence factor number 9 around energizing all your stakeholders. So let's get stuck in. So the question is, what energy are you bringing to the workplace? What energy do you bring to work on a daily basis? Because obviously that's going to impact everyone around you. So we've got to be mindful of what energy do I need to have that's going to give me the most influence over those particular stakeholders. When I go to a meeting, I need to think about, well, what sort of energy do I need? Do I need a hyper energy? Do I need a concentrated energy? Do I need a playful energy in this meeting? Do I need a proactive energy? What sort of energy do I need to bring to this meeting that's going to have the most influence over the attendees of that meeting? So when we start to think about this and think about who are we being, how are we showing up? You know, impact was all about who we're being, right? Are we being inspiring? Are we being motivating? Are we being boring? Are we being serious? Or are we being sort of playful? You know, miserable, happy? Do we have a can-do attitude? You know, or do we have a no, I can't? This energy is infectious. We know that. And you only have to kind of think about it and think about it this way in the sense of those people around you. So I want you to kind of think about, you know, where are you at in terms of the organization, your level of belief in what you're doing? Do you have a level of enthusiasm? In other words, I'm sold myself. You know, those last 4 letters of enthusiasm. So I want you to be mindful of how enthusiastic are you around what you do and what you bring to the organization. And one of the ways to kind of think about that is to think about the impact, not just from, you know, a positive energy perspective, but also from the health benefits. You know, mental health is becoming an issue within organizations. And we know that we've had bring that positive energy, that positive psychology. It can have this sort of impact within your organization, not just within you, but how you land on other people. So you bring that enthusiasm. You're taking note of what sort of energy am I bringing? You're also thinking about these questions. So thinking about what energy am I bringing to your place of work, think about now your boss, or think about a supervisor or a team member. And you know, like now, if I said to you, that boss or that team member, that, you know what, they're like a cloud of doom. They walk into a room and that's the energy they bring. So we've got to be mindful and thinking about this in the context of these questions. So ask yourself this, right? You know, when someone's interacting with you, do they feel invigorated as a result of that conversation? Have you inspired them in any way? Have you got them to think differently? Yeah. Do they have more energy to go off and do their work? So what energy are you kind of bringing? Are you bringing that inspirational energy? Or the other couple of questions that you need to ask, you know, is there that increased sense of vitality? Or, you know what, think about, would someone go to you to get more energy? You know, they'll come into your office and say, listen, I just need to hear it from you because I know you'll put a positive spin on this and you'll probably make more sense with it. I just, you know, I've just been in a meeting and it was just like, everyone was just down and gloomy and, you know, it was all negative, downward spiral. So I want to get into a conversation that's upward spiral. Do you have upward spiral conversations? Yes. So when you start to think about these questions, are you one of those people who someone would kind of point out to you and go, no, they've got good energy. They have a nice energy about them. Yeah, they're nice to be around. Yeah. So when we think about sort of, you know, helping people, and I like this, if you haven't read the book, I would recommend reading The 8th Habit, because it's all around, you know, helping you. The book's all around helping you find your voice, so that way you can inspire others to find theirs. So it's really about unleashing and unlocking that talent, but bringing that mindset, bringing that energy, which is really about helping others find their voice. Yes, and so when we think about that, it's, you know, it's lighting those fires within them, not underneath them. I know there's some people who kind of light the fire underneath them and then they just let it go. So we want to be thinking about how you're inspiring people from within. Yeah. really kind of identifying what are they really passionate about. Because when you do that, it helps them lead a career by design, not by default. And as HR professionals, one of the things is for us is to be thinking about how do we help people make the right choices, make those choices that are career enhancing, not career limiting. So do we help that person who's sitting around going, well, I'll wait till so-and-so leaves because then I'll default into their position because I've been here the longest, right? Or, so are we trying to encourage and bring a different level of energy that inspires people to say, hang on a second, you don't have to wait for that person to leave to have more responsibility. You don't have to wait for that person to leave to get a pay rise. You don't have to wait for that person to leave for you to get that promotion. So thinking about that energy, how are you helping people make career enhancing decisions? So really that's where I'm kind of getting you guys to think about in terms of what energy are you bringing to the table, and think about that, whether it's one-to-one or whether it's in an actual meeting. What's the energy? What does the person feel like when they're sitting next to you during that meeting or having that one-to-one conversation with you? What energy do you want to bring to the table? Okay, so really just in terms of 4 things to wrap this up, it's thinking about those 4 questions and thinking about what energy you're bringing to the table. So we need to be mindful of that, right? Before you go into a meeting, say to yourself, what energy do I need to bring to this meeting that's going to give me the most influence over the people sitting around the table? Yes, so think about that. The other thing is, how do you help people find their voice? How do you inspire them? What sort of energy is going to, inspire them, and think about inspiring them from within. And then lastly, just around, helping them lead their careers by design rather than default. So that's what I wanted to share with you in this last video, just real quick, just recap, just kind of a refresher more than anything, rather than sort of mind-blowing takeaway, which brings us to the end of the Hyper HR Presence Impact and Influence Blueprint Model. So like I said, this is really about these 6 steps that get HR heard, understood, and feel valued without having to kiss upwards to get it. And so those 4 steps, as you can see, were all around you, getting you focused on how you're being heard and understood, how are you showing up, how are you feeling that valued. And then the last couple of steps is really about making sure that, you break through, and then for future barriers that may come up. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video series. Please get in touch via LinkedIn, click the subscribe button, because obviously I'm going to be adding more videos as we go through and sharing more insights with you. So look forward to seeing you on another video. Take care for now.